103 in the place to be.
I like to introduce myself. My name is Whirlwind.
And it goes a little something like this.
Going way, way back to the early days.
Way back in the days when hip-hop began.
For all the pioneers, I'm going way back.
Love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when.
Listen to this, just listen to this, just listen to this, just listen to this.
Hello. Sabine the Bee. And you are listening to the Pioneers Show.
This is Style from the Gutter Style. Real beats plus real rhymes equals the Pioneers Hip Hop Show with my man Whirlwind D on Kane FM.
Whirlwind D on Kane FM.
Yo, this is Phil Most Chill, still out to kill. And you are listening to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show, presented by Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Get busy, get lost.
Now we are ready if you are ready.
Witness the strength as I commence, live by left fear I set. Stand up for deliverance, brother, my metaphors raw and I never before delivered the runs, hard lines and I score. In this game, seen the lane, fools and fade, locate and aim, laid on the flame and I tame. Quick to inflict with the lyrics, you had it, you lack it, I pack it. Hardnoise, start the panic.
Follow me, yes, busting chains, busting weak brains, barriers, massacre, carrier, musical, radical, electrify, dismantling MC, DJ, diabolical dancers, pranksters, hip-hop gangsters, mangled, tangled, angled, handled, I devour, nuclear powered, unconquer many enemies, prides are captured by the touch, I task, confused, abused, bulls, interfused with the DIUs, you excavate, you messed up, reality's ounces, cocaine's bouncing you, more trap, crack, smack with doom, my boom, look at your health, your wealth, your self-respect, been sacrificed, hallucinating, deep in sweating, feeling lazy, daisy, the world seems hazy, but still you indulge. Powders don't solve, positive problem, stress, yes. Time evolves, you're behind road, you're not getting bell, no. Sailing to suicide, you hear the nail. Hell awaits you as you cross the bars, crying. Your soul's dying, the grace calling. I'm still writing brainiac.
Back to birth, so then his brother leaves the border unturned. It's confirmed that TLP on stands firm. Release the rage, uncaged, this bait played like a child you're afraid. We know the fools are at rage, slackness, we detest, put to rest, yes, while I progress, don't stress. Welcome down in the process, letter for letter, word for word, beat for beat, we'll delete the weak, while I patch you like sun, stands at the spoken one, brother like manner, MADOS, attacker, AJ, saying no player, corner Steve, plays cool, G's for lyrical, Gemini, Cole, Imperial, out a scene, the mighty rose, while the rhythm rolls, TLP, the poet, you know it has got full my control, the lyrics, they reach and teach, I'm stating my piece, now feel the force unleashed, cause Hannah's fast, pure destructive.
Execute phrases, amazes, mesmerizing. G extraordinaire, complex, wreck your set, your whole set of jazz stuff. Now think a second time, plagiarize, analyze, then cut down the size. Wide words, whip, energize, dogmatize, vocalize, you scrutinize and criticize me. Bullshit, I hear, I lick, I rip. I'm a gripper, MC manipulator, charismatic, magnetic, poetic, artistic, realistic, rhyme athletic, static. I don't feel it, a bit, I inch, a pin, skilling, chilling, good in million, maxing, follow facts in name, paying taxes, running 36 beat buses, punching passes, breaking nonsense, making passes and fly girls, except don't ripped up, too rough, never been handcuffed. Break it down, suicidal.
Yeah, what's going on, party people? It's your boy Mikey D of the LA Posse and Main Source, and now I represent elements of hip-hop. So right now you're tuned in to the Pioneers Hip-Hop Show with my man DJ Whirlwind D right here on Kane 103.7 FM. Come on, y'all, keep it locked, man. This is where real hip-hop lives.
Welcome to this month's Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane 103.7 FM. For the next 2 hours, we've got a smorgasbord of hip hop beauties to play you. More about the focus in a moment. Massive shout out to my man Disorder for the last 2 hours of Dub Chronicles goodness. Always essential listening. If you're brand new to the show, each month we focus on an aspect of hip-hop history, sharing the stories and the tales, as well as playing the essential records of the time. Now, last month we focused on the legendary Juice Crew All-Stars, with the second part of the series looking at the post-Warner's era up to the fragmentation of the crew around 1989. Previously, we've looked at everything from US city scenes like Connecticut and Boston to UK spots like Bristol and Notts, as well as genres such as cut and paste and crews like the HQ Squad. And you can catch our previous shows on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel. A massive thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel, and of course for all the comments and chat. Love getting involved, that interaction we really do appreciate. So this month we return to UK shores with a focus on one of the undoubtable unsung heroes of the UK hip-hop scene, with a career in hip-hop spanning from the mid-80s to the present day. So this month's pioneer is the brilliant No Sleep Nigel, who of course is synonymous with the UK sound and indeed has a career that stretches way beyond the parameters of the hip-hop genre. However, for the purposes of this show, we're going to focus on his immense contribution to the hip-hop scene. But like I say, No Sleep Nigel has been involved on many levels of music, not just on the mixing and engineering side, but as a musician himself, and of course across many genres. But because this is the Pioneers Hip Hop Show, tonight we're going to focus on that hip hop aspect. From a personal perspective, the name No Sleep Nigel quickly became synonymous with UK rap releases in the late 80s. I probably first became aware of the name on Blade's brilliant early releases, although as we will see, his involvement with hip hop slightly predated this. So we open proceedings with, without doubt, one of the greatest hip-hop records of all time. The original white label version of Hardnoise's Untitled. Now I'm going to talk more about that in a moment, so just going to hold fire on that for a second. Obviously it's a record that was engineered and mixed by No Sleep Nigel, but we're going to talk more about that in a moment. In fact, No Sleep Nigel was and is a musician himself, playing bass and other instruments, and in fact his engineering and mixing, which helped spawn a whole style of music, in itself is very musical, so it's not surprising he has that broad background. Now, Nigel would initially become involved with hip-hop via Dexter from the Brotherhood, and with that we move straight into his earliest hip-hop projects. Up next, it's Dashy D and Q-Tips.
Let me explain. It's times like this that drive me insane. Yo, Q-Tip, where you at? Hippodrome, I ride a check a thing, catch the rhythm around the sound of the time. It's time to define what I wanna do in one line, MCG. What am I gonna do? You got a sucker 180 at the back of you. Ladies are loving it, but do you really blame them? It's just the kind of atmosphere that really insane. Their body he's flowing, but I'm showing how to move the crowd without blowing the sound. You wanna get down? We'll get down. It's fucky fucky up, you're gonna take my ground. Brain to control the brain. Let me explain the kind of rap, kind of bass going down in my name, cause I'm Dash on the microphone. So let's leave your name and number at the end of this tone. Control. That I'm giving that you D, that's me, you see. And I'm living the rap, the melody, the bass at the back of me. No mistakes made, yes, just accuracy. Never but better, yeah, rap with the type of devious but clever. Too all who fall in the name of my name. Rapping on my tunes up, I claim my fame. What a shame. A British rapper like the others, born on the mic and like all the mothers. The body, wrote it, related, he made it. This rap, yeah, with G, yeah, I made it. Oxygen is needed, the bass is proceeded. Heads are swaying, and that's what's needed. But hold it, the rap will diminish. Wait, let me finish. Bladders are bursting, your woman is thirsty. Hot for my body, so yeah, she's the first thing. Little boy blue, go blow your horn. Where I was born to serve the jam. You understand, my man? Yeah, distress in the area. Me and G, here to scare ya. Safe as a scam, big girl, understand me. You wanna cuss, catch your bus, check out Mandy. Trafalgar Square is where the place is kicking there. Drugs and clubs and mugs, it's got the atmosphere, I'm out of here. Well, I'll give you a chance to prove to me that you can dance control. Giving you the violence, you know what I'm saying? Control. That's it, give it to me. Q-tip, give it to me. Control. Yeah, Q-tip, give it to me. This is it, just give it to me. Now step up the tempo, nobody knows. Have to fight the DJ that because he tried to expose my rhyme to all the others, sisters and brothers. And you will try to uncover that rapping's for people who like people rapping. Dangerous for people who like the pics tapping. SPG, who the hell is he? Get in your van, understand it, it's Dashy D. Mythical, magical, extraordinaire. Dashy D, that's me, you see. And I don't care, love me and leave me, but just don't deceive me. Choke and choke and choke, believe me, none of that schism. Check out the rhythm, the more you dance is the more I give them. Tempo as I hit the floor. DJ, can I have some more? Flick through the pages, don't say my rapping stadium. Done for all ages, I expect my wages tonight, tomorrow night, that's alright. As long as the groove don't let the bedbugs bite, I mean, have a wet dream. Check out the scene, pumping up a lady, yeah, you know what I mean. The girl is groovy, goes into spasm. Is this the definition of a multiple orgasm? Dashy D, the geezer who's legal. Power on the decks, some plastic on the needle. He's the guy who's gotta be flashing it. You got a girl, I got a rap and I'm dashing it. But you're safe because you press the play button. You wanna dance so you ain't say nothing. Cause all you squares, you're messing up my life. Because you never put a better bit of butter on your life. Control. Oh yeah, control. Going out to all you people out there.
103.7 Kain FM.
London, my town is righteous. Fighters boy, and I might just dish you. My issue is ramping. E14, my rhyme stamping. Cause that's that glory. It's a style, so explore me. We're the homeboys to bring it again. DEXKANN, back. My homeboys got soul. There's a payment, so pay me the toll. I'm just laughing. You're a comic, well I'm atomic soul. I'm still in my youth. I say. You suckers won't cease to amaze me. CLOT is an addition. I'm the level of a homeboy musician. In a bed, cash to collect. Stop your screaming, take me, you're dreaming up. There's a lot more to hear yet. Hop alive, but you can still bet you can't match us with any example of your talent ain't ample.
Yo, these guys usually came from London and kicking it, man. Who's that guy's homeboy?
My DJ. Homicide. My DJ. Homicide. My DJ.
Not a broom to remember 1971, born December. The borough dope is the rap, cause Can's a homeboy who made the last step. Obtain the name, the work credit. So all your suckers, just stop your stalling. Try to grit to a snap or you're falling. Falling lower than the lowest beginner. I get your girl, I use her, don't fling her. But I'm not the sort, unpaid harassment. Cause I'm the MC Dex is my attachment. Chuck it home, bust up the channel. And scam the scam rocks off the TP. my homeboys are mad colors. They're all brothers and all girl lovers, using tax in a different text. A thriller in itself to confirm what's next. We scam Dexter can of 45, dance in your own style as I arrive.
Kane 103.7 FM.
Now coming correct with the rhyme that must drop. I say stop, I give what I got, then get hot. Yo, stop, don't crush, don't stoop, you're a flop. Yo, what's up, out of luck, give a you just stop. Yo, stop, who's stop, that you and your crew cut. It seems you were forgotten when your crew they get boost up. What, your nuts can't handle the cut. DJ's got beats and treats, man, he's got the luck. Yo, stop, don't tell me about no butt, your brain shot. So while I flow, you just clock. With run, you can snap, so all this stink of rock. When they lyric you bust, people dust and the fly drop. If these are my tip, you should quit talking plop plop. Stay in your crib like I did, then develop. And soon you'll be real hot. I thought it's a Dexter. Charge to the full with the rhyme that must drop. You when you feel the earth to burn and it is your turn. You're concerned about the bag of respect that you earn. Don't be blinking. Let nothing cover the eye. Don't stop. Proceed, persevere and rise. When you're holding the mic, can recite what you just write. Or roll cause it's dope. You can quote on a scapegoat. Blow all this smoke. Don't take the toke for no dope. But the rhyme and you choke and you choke and choke. Leave it broke like an egg yolk. Smash like your uncle. Bitch you a pipe. I get hype and you just float then. You ask me how. You ask me how. The answer is this. We're coming correct now. This is a freestyle tip. Hip hop not trip. Just let me pour a couple lyrics. You can take a sip. Cause it's the real shit. I can't equip. With the run to make a scoop, loop, and then flip. Cut quick. Be slick. DJ but don't tire. With rhyming I'm the sire. Because the lyrics fire. And on up both. So here's a toast. Cause I'm your host. You ask about that man. You rhyme the most. Yes I do. Cater. For those appreciator. Rhyme that's simply mega. If not I'll see you later. I'm the instigator. Of these words that were on paper. So value days are great. In that that's how much greater. I'm a slater. Because I know it's weed that's a rater. Nothing to do and I show that simply say you see you later. So yo, let me flow your taste a nice flavor. Flavor being dead. To taste it as the savor. So savor it well. Savor it good. You know you should listen to the rap cause it's the lick some wood. Keep on going, you're going. I'm getting hype, hype, hype. Shame on those that bite. It's time I hold the mic. Don't mean to interrupt the flow. But when I hear the call, I got to go. You know, then they ask we or they ask me. How come the hype that we're taking it easy? The answer's simple, mate. We got the know-how. And it's simply because we're coming correct now. D-E-double-T. Deluge, man. Indeed. The pressure is on, we come through, you can bet. I said check, they say yep, then we wreck the set. Don't fret, I won't let anybody get close enough to make me sweat, you get dead. Hold a reject, slam dunk the rock, who be spouting jump. Take him out like Ambrose, bust the middle stump. Make you land on your rump with a bump. You're a punk when I speak and I peak, I leave your ego sunk. So I merge and you purge, and I was strongly urged for you to take a detour where my passion surge. Cause it's surge and it's surge and it's surge and keep surging. DJs and MCs, all that we should be merging. Check this special version, a lyric excursion. MC and DJ would display no subversion and yet for motivation in the crowd appear. I mean he and she are not whom I see. In a dance or a jam, the mic just fly to my hand and blam. The dance was ram, and that's the time I start cooking. The time I start baking, the biters are looking, are shaking, and they start quaking. But lo and behold, if I you have not sold, then that's cool. Don't break the rule, cause it's old, stop lounging. No need to max or relax. You pay the tax rate at the gate, currency for the wax in stack. It's a fact, I will tell you that. In a jam block at the back, it's simply stack, stack, stack. The power pack, coming exact, coming correctly. Therefore to hold the black, you best loose we. To contain us, no man has a know-how. The reason for this is because we are coming correct now. Dex Incorporated, doing the business, highly rated. Coming correct.
Kane FM.
is really hot. And on my list, I rate it at the top. No brave beats and dope hip hop. Video, you know it's not for me. You haven't heard me on your radio, see me on your TV. A to the K, no K to the B. Cause I'm moving and cold, yeah, slipper than a bandit. I'm on my microphone, you know that I can land it. Some girls been falling by my own tongue. Yo, you will up, but on your friend look dumb. You was sad, I was glad, tried to make me mad. That's impossible, cause I'm so bad. So sure, doing my part, made the family sad. When you're on the mic, all you do is this. Later outside, you be showing your fit. I don't stay inside, outside where I reside. With my 8mm stand by my side. Yeah, I met a bro, which is do you wanna go? So I push into the side, I try to flex in the boat. It's like a bath from the hell, then not to think well. You gave me a chance to me and you left and I fell. Took away my job for me a benefit.
Yo, you mother suckers are all full of shit.
But now you think you got me biting on the tip. My tip is on the top and my beat's non-stop. Word.
Non-stop, rock it like that.
Younger DW, man.
Yeah, take it all out. Word. The co-constructed rhymer with reason sure is in season, not slipping, no ego tripping and no, not dissing. Well, the poetry's in motion with spiritual devotion. Hip-hop is the master on the rhyme, it's but a notion from my mind, ticking in overtime. Brothers before it on the set whilst we be laying it on the line. Corporation to the side of me, access will add some rhymes to these. Sure, I rock a party with the living. Realities tells from the south side, where we reside. Mother Space Combo was an inside to the sides, going fist to fist, rocking and rolling like this. Anything goes amiss, you got the trouble to deal with. Taking on time to make it flip, that's vitally Sam. Sushi cycles, so cycles start the cycle. Making sure you're choking, yes, that's you paralyzed. The trace of fakers with their blind visualize. Calling rap symphonies unorganized cacophonies. The upholders of the screwed up, hop in the street where the butchers April flies. London town, we're gonna bring it down, rip it down, tear it down. Cut the stupid stinking mother sucker down. A non-stop will rain the sound. Yeah, my main man AGENT. You know that.
With the way it is. Corporation in the place, kick it down with the
Yo, what's up? This is Chrome representing the All C&I, No Half Stepping Records, and you're checking out my man Whirlwind D on the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane FM. Keep it locked.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane 103.7 FM. If you've just joined us, tonight is about the legendary No Sleep Nigel, who of course has been a linchpin of the UK hip hop scene for so long. Now don't forget, at the end of the show we feature some brilliant brand new music from the likes of my man Specifik and his incredible album that's out at the moment. That album is almost sold out. If you want to snatch one of the last copies of the vinyl, you need to head over to Specifik's Bandcamp to grab that. Also a cheeky new track from myself and Smoove, and the brilliant new 7 from my man Tough Cut featuring Percy P. Now let's get back to the story. We find ourselves in the late 80s, a time when No Sleep Nigel was first making his name on the hip hop scene. So the first track you heard was possibly my favourite cut from the seminal Hardcore Volume 1, such a dope compilation and an absolute document of the culture. Now the track we played was Control by Dashy D and Q-Tips, massive shout out to my man Hainsey. Now the album itself was the first hip hop project that Nigel would work on and contained tracks from the likes of MC Mell O, Dexter, MC Crazy A, of course Nihal from BBC Radio fame, and the Muddy Funksters, alongside the man like Colt 45, big up to you sir, and of course Knots Pioneers, MC Faisal F and DJ Quick, who we looked at in our Knots History special, which you can catch on the Whirlwind D YouTube, and many more UK legends. Such an essential album. Now legend has it that there was a lot of time pressure to get the album done quickly to avoid a Christmas release, and as a result Nigel alongside Sparky, Dexter and Can would spend almost 48 hours flat in the studio to get the record done. Now this is where his No Sleep moniker came from. But of course, on this album, he was just credited as Nigel, as the nickname was still gaining traction. We then moved into D to the K's Brilliant Hard But Live. Now D to the K were Dexter and MC Can. Dexter would of course go on to be part of the Brotherhood and a key feature in the UK hip-hop scene right until the present day, while MC Can would go on to make his name in dance music as part of Bug Can and Plastic Jam, with hits like Made in 2 Minutes and many more. We then moved into MC Mell O's debut solo 12-inch post Just Bad, the incredible Comin Correct, which was mixed by No Sleep Nigel, and the first time his name appears as No Sleep. Now, most of these early connections would come from Nigel's relationship with Dexter. So the final track we played was another South London crew and their very rare debut, which only ever appeared as a promo, and although not credited was more than likely mixed by No Sleep soon after the Hard But Live single came out on BPM as a BPM promo. That was of course the Crew Corporation. Big up to Agent Axis and the rest of the crew, whose first recording appeared on Hardcore Volume 1. And now this particular track was called Non-Stop. Okay, after a very short pause for the cause, as it is customary to do, we're going to move into a track by an artist whose name would become synonymous with No Sleep Nigel. It is of course UK legend Blade.
Lyrical maniac, lyrical. Many people hear it, think it's a miracle. Miracle, musical, maybe get physical. Go, Blade, go! Reaching the pinnacle, moving in circles in region of swingers, rappers, DJs, and even soul singers. Singing, swinging, telephones ringing. As from the solo rap is what I'm bringing. General public, I think you better know this. I guess that is true. I'm a rap chauvinist on the list. Single, solo, telling all the fools that you want a polo, rolo, or maybe even a biscuit. Tell me something, was it worth you to risk it? To many it's madness, lyrical badness. But for now I think I better confess that I wear the blue, the black, never the yellow. Cool and calm, just an ordinary fellow. Tapping on the tables but I don't play the cello. As an example I go a cappella. Hello, well maybe what's happening? Why don't you admit that the style that I'm rapping in is kind of amusing? Steadily cruising, you'd be a fool if you were refusing it. Many people choosing it, wise decision. Put it in your Walkman, walk around, listen. Many are losers, yep, they're losing it, yep. I'm losing them, simply confusing them. They say excuse me, I'll excuse them. As for the money I earn, I refuse them. Dealing in lyricals, never the joker. Dealing with the ones I call the no-hopers. Some might be younger, some might be older. Oh, what the? I'm the beholder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No one is my idol, no one is my hero. Numero uno, ain't what I'm proving. I get the pleasure from watching the people moving. Those who are pseudo, I'll be like Tyson or maybe even Bruno, who know, you know, Frank. Idiots are left all speechless blank. You ought to know that this is no prank. I was a rhythm and who can you thank? This is no stranger or the Lone Ranger. Been doing the rapping since I was a teenager. You know the one. Oh, that son of a gun. Form of intelligence, form of knowledge. When I left school, I went straight to college. Schooling. Teachers never taught me, never went in class, but they never caught me. Even in lessons, instead of learning, I wrote the lyrics, I was aching, burning, banging on the table, something like so. Boy, what a way to go. The rapper politician from out the blue, telling all the nincompoops that they're through. You hear me? Wake up, realize you sound real stupid when you try to sound civilized. Tick tock, chewing on chicken, doing the hip hop. They can never even tell A from B. If they ain't a friend, then I guess they're an enemy. Ooh, what a feeling. Talking about sexual healing, personal issue. Slap you on the forehead, you grab a tissue. The joke is on you. Why bother get cynical, lyrical, maniac, lyrical.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
They always turn out of these new words, Cottnies, isn't they? What's the new one?
I'm a rock neck ghetto, MC from the ghetto on a set when I let off a lyric, you know it's let off like you wamping it, me wamping it, right knee. And stitch me up with murder, yeah, for robbery. I live in London and nothing when a man can't understand me when I rap and I chat the black man brat slang. True, they're not in the head when I just ask a question. So is a lesson or two. Me now screw the slaps or pancakes.
That means you don't hoes understand truth.
Louder buttons, cause I'm a not belief in line of time call a sucker and cheek for a block break. Some say I'm a worker. If you're one of them, some gangsters gonna skank you left, right, and center. Just like a rent car salesman. Girls, man, I like a well-brand. Ones I could tell sound fitting enough for a gangster you. I wouldn't spit on a crop, no thanks to could steezy like Rona. One of them bars that spreads easy. In a New York, I taught the Brixton diction to the dentist looking sexy in Brooklyn or the Bronx. When I first did I shock me, wanted to pop because I dropped the cockney.
My language is broken into a slang, but it's just the dialect that I select when I hang.
In New York, how can I man? They go, yo, money, you sound funny.
It's just the dialect that I select when I hang.
They always turn out of these new words, Cottnies, isn't they? They always turn out of these new words, Cottnies, isn't they? What's the new one?
I come from London, so when I talk the twang, some of them just can't understand the slang and the lingua. The wicked lyrics we fling to your head. They say the record sounded rough, but what was that he said? About the money man used, the coots and the fraud. But whether pouring or applause, the odds up against me. And bang juice don't sweat me. True, the girls are like the boom, so I fall out zoom for them. Pretty little sisters from New York, the ones who wiggle when they walk and love the way I talk, you know. Africa like that. True, they never experienced how this a rude boy yet from Londinium. Killing them with styles and pattern. The crews them love the way I'm chatting, but I'm slapping a slack wench. The girl don't have no sense or no class, just her ass and big tits and her eyes to dim with. But where I live, if you're a plum, you're dumb. Enough girls carry the gun, I wanna give man fun. And the gangster youths, I've changed the topic a little. Yeah, the gangster youths put brains in hospital. Some of them talk like this and some of them talk like that. And it's a fact that a cunt's up front who needs a smack in his mouth. This is how we talk down south, creating friction, using the gangster diction.
My language is broken into a slang, but it's just the dialect that I select when I hang.
You're listening to the sounds of Kane 103.7 FM.
The facts we excel, you know it well as we tell you yell, still we go, urgent also, smack your ego, hey in the dozo, no, take a few respectable, eat the meat, some survive on vegetable, group a clan, due to the fact we be, in the community, we in unity, come collect the fee without burglary, contemplate to forget the larceny, persevere, we are not senseless, set the movie trap for the defenseless, totally out of reach, connect, justify our stock and defect, yours and his, never deal defective, being effective, the main objective, yes, press the button for access, check how we express, forget the rest, rebelliousness to go block and patronize, another bonehead, who are your alibis, emphasis and God knows we're genuine, stubborn as hell, yelling at the venue in, swiftly, quickly, the strength, the forte, Roman portrait, no matter what they say, yeah. wanna think so? Oh heck, the result, the factor. Subsequently for ages on a lacquer. Why oh why? Blatant on a portable. Pitch a tone and hey, it ain't negotiable. Trigger logo, suffer the consequence. Who needs evidence? We are residents. To a foe, the shop is elementary. For support, renegade is a benefit. Influential, suckers are doomed to fade. Ways to persuade, rules are disobeyed. Socially, by the way, defend with the mind of an ordinary citizen. Profound, read it on the program. Not a hoax, you choke up on a slow jam. Quick, take a peek, the technique. Reach a peak, avoid the creep. Not a cliche, snatch and get the hell away. Where's the pay? We are not the same. Hey, you hear the B identity. The delivery sharp and simply. Direct, and I know you won't forget this. Do the slow, don't even try to block this. But whatever the case, we go on and on. Spin the decks, consider it done, yes!
Kane FM.
Seek the enemy, locate the enemy, track down the enemy, break down the enemy, done. It's 91, yes here I come, the noise ain't done, so send a come, see how they run. Check the approach, you know it's no joke, like a cutthroat. You're hanging on hope, look there goes the rope. Fall and descend, if this is the end, there's your mind bends. You forecast the blast, a new storm I send. Many terminators, the souls have been liberated. The unknown is demonstrated, and Hardnoise is activated. Cause for panic, these jokers, I got to have it. Double barrel the channel, the visual cycle, could you handle? Untitled 3-5-4 from field the present. So let the two intelligent matter, who's any relevant, scattered and battered. Under manners, my manner of sound from that those that come away low, I step a fool away. Check the omission, Hardnoise directors missing, so listen, eliminate opposition. You're lost in action, you're missing, range select. Aim direct, interject, intercept, disconnect those that just mind the step. Now take a look at rap. It's been exposed, exploded, destroyed. Back in 82, the quarter the fantasy killed. Don't know that look who's on a bandwagon, stealing and faking your money, raking, and dictating about the sound we should be making. Debate was sort of hit solo to follow in the ghetto. Your shit don't drop yet, they called it hip hop. Still they mock the Hardnoise, or is it the fact that we're too damn black? Is that 33, 45, spin the vibe, come alive on the dark side. In the day, play a different shade. The plan was able getting paid, who's got it made for the master to the rhythm of stage. Check the airways. Like catch a joke for the money, you're skipping lacking your week. Bring that beat back. Yeah, you damn teeth. Another stuff full fronts, but these cuts full blunt. Gets the breeze, cause you can't even cut the cheese. Lip split shit, quick, get this. Grammar hits, never miss. Fuck with this and get dismissed. Friend or foe, now you know. As they come, they go. Witness the strength with my rhyme flow. T.O.P. the lyrical, the lyrics of a lyricist, the vocal elocutionist. Don't distress his mind, you're this. 60 level, stretching blanks in your vocals, trebles. The lyrics are iron, symbol, a fool that you cannot equal. This comes these bubble, troubles, rumble, jokers, fumble, tumble, crumble. Rock the skill set to fail like Master Trevor from the.
Bring the noise! The hard way. DJs go off, they go off.
Checking for fame, but you can't play the game. Shame you're lame, no aim. We came, we served and tamed. Countless fools try to fool, but we're schooled by the views. Can resonance of you? The message. Cite the fraud, come on board. School by school lyrics. I manifest the strength I stress. Yes, I put to rest. Lines roll, rhymes roll, head bust for those who discuss. Cause get rushed for your best stuff. Come off by the road. My lane, step aside for subjects to override and I'll leave them unidentified. Tell your boy to put to destroy from the noise. Paranoid kind of voice, style boy keeps on sweating. Hardnoise for composition, so listen, face the submission. I put a regular for your mission. A's for the ace, we're placing the facing and breaking of faking. It's not a threat, it's a fact I'm stating. Righteous brothers, no preachers, but teachers. Hold tight, the receivers, hardcore best believers. Capital D, the E for foot. And if you're soft, then come up. Southside Supreme succeeds again, we get respected. Yo, this is where I exit, 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 exit.
Hey yo, this is Phil Most Chill, still out to kill, and you are listening to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show presented by Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Get busy or get lost.
Yo, D, I was just messing with this beat in the lab, and I thought, you know what? Let me just pass him this beat, rock 32 bars straight, and we're gone. What are you saying?
Tonight is all about the legendary No Sleep Nigel, who's been credited as mixing, remixing, producing, playing instruments and arranging many legendary hip-hop tracks over the years. On tonight's show we are tracing his early involvement right through to the present day, and of course, as I stated earlier, we're specifically looking at his hip-hop entries because of course No Sleep Nigel has a long history of involvement with all kinds of genres and music. So first up was the brilliant debut, or so people thought it was, more on that in a moment, by Blade. Blade would meet No Sleep at Cold Storage Studios. Tracking back for a moment, it's worth adding that Nigel would part mix Hardcore Volume 1 at Cold Storage after beginning the album at a studio in Bromley. Now, Blade had come in to record his single, however it was suggested that he switched engineer as Nigel had that ear for hip-hop, that ear that we know and we love because he's behind so many incredible records. Now, as we know, this partnership would prove very fruitful over the years, with Blade releasing classic after classic. And we play a lot of Blade tonight, and you know what? I mean, number one, Blade is one of the legendary UK artists who's produced so much incredible music over the years, right to the present day. Big ups to my man Blade. But also, of course, that partnership he had with No Sleep Nigel was kind of, I guess, most evident when it comes to those Blade releases. Now, in fact, as I alluded to, Blade had recorded a previous 12 in 1988 called Chart Moves, which was meant to be a novel way of providing instructions to a game of the same name. Now, in fact, the game never came out in the original format. It did come out eventually, but slightly differently, and the records, at least the Blade records that were there as instructions, remained hidden until many years ago. Now, in fact, it was myself that actually tracked down the records, going back a few years. I actually at the time copped 3 records from the inventor of the game who had all those records at the time, but I have to say I wish I'd taken them all now. Fortunately though, subsequently I passed on the details to a friend, and I think he passed them on to somebody else, and now of course the record is out there, which is a good thing because I think it's a dope record. Actually, Blade was involved on a record nothing to do with hip-hop many years before that. Big up to Blade. I got to also say a shout out to 0521, making serious moves at the moment. Got so much respect for my man Blade, not just as a musician but through his platform and all that he does for UK hip-hop and hip-hop beyond, not just UK. Now, the album, like many of the tracks played tonight, is of course a bona fide classic, and the album that I'm talking about that we're going to move on to now is the incredible London Posse Gangster Chronicle, which was just a phenomenal slice of wax. Now, we played a track called Original London Style from that album, and that album was mostly mixed by No Sleep Nigel, and most of the tracks on the album were done with the group at Joe's Garage Studios, and that's one of the studios that No Sleep Nigel would mix many UK classics at, just like Cold Storage. And it's said that the track, vocals, everything were fully done in those sessions. Big Daddy Magazine reported this in an interview with No Sleep Nigel, and they reported that some of the tracks were created from from start to finish in 12-hour sessions, literally from writing the rhymes and those first ideas. Incredible stuff. Next up, we heard Blade's sophomore record, at least at the time before we knew about chart moves. That was The Brilliant Mind of an Ordinary Citizen. And then finally, we played the fantastic sophomore 12-inch from the legendary Hardnoise. Now let's go back to our opening track for a moment, which was their original, very collectible white label version of Untitled. Now, this version, of course, was different to the later Music of Life release, and it had a different mix and a longer introduction. It was, in fact, this original version that No Sleep produced. It was actually meant to be just a demo for the group, and the reason for the name Untitled, and I wondered this for many years, because it was just one of those kind of mysteries, was that they didn't have a name for the track at the time. So No Sleep simply put the words Untitled on the tape. And of course that name stuck and became the stuff of legends. Now when Music of Life picked it up, they would mix it again. This wasn't a mix done by No Sleep Nigel, you know, it became the stuff of legends. And for me, Hardnoise Untitled is one of the greatest rap records of all time from anywhere. In fact, I mean, I'm playing so many of the greatest. I mean, Blade's last two tracks we just heard as well, absolutely up there. But sticking with Hardnoise for a moment, that original white label shooting up in value at the moment. And like I say, not surprising, because it was a different mix, had the longer intro, and of course it's such an incredible record. So the final track we heard, going back to Hardnoise, was their second and final 12-inch from Music of Life, and that was a track, Mice in the Presence of Lions, which featured the vocals of TLP1. So we find ourselves in the early 90s, and up next it's another classic from the man like Blade.
For somebody good to record my stuff, and I think you're it. And I think you're it. Me? And I think you gotta be kidding, I ain't no singer.
Oh yeah, back again. 1991, we're getting serious. No joking, no time for players. Here we go, get it.
Listen, money grabbing man I'm dismissing. Plenty of fish in the sea, so I go fishing. Looking for the deal that suits me down to earth. For every little bitty thing that it's worth. Sometimes you can sense that I will be when I do the listening, but you ain't talking clearly. I bet you thought you had me, but I say gladly that I don't need you badly. Hardly a second is wasted when I grab a piece of your pizza and taste it. No, that doesn't mean you own me. I mean 20 minutes is all the time you've known me, and you think you can dictate my hell of a life. Go on home and control your wife. Deep down you ain't nothing but a businessman, but if you can, then I know that I can make progress and be a little bit better than yesterday when I was only a veteran, hoping for things that were too good to be true. But now all I really wanna do is rough it up. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna. Touch me, sit back and watch me. Take a look around, many begrudge me, thinking like the kids they wanna be like me. So what you know is only really what you wanna know. Get your damn hands off my shoulder. I'm not a soldier, but like I told you, for the ones that wanna be taking us as a joke, we go straight for your throat and it's you we choke. You see the pictures of us in the magazines, where all the critics want us to come clean. But as you read the script, you might think I flipped. Here's a tip, why don't you take a long trip? Stay the hell away from me and my boys. Here's the views and opinions I voice. 691 is slamming. For the Apache and me, don't give a damn. Cap one and my partner Renegade. We'll be tearing up shit, so why don't you wait a little longer? See that I'm stating a fact, and it was worth the waiting. Rough it up, we gonna. Yeah, we gonna. Yeah, we're gonna. seminal, something that you wanna listen to. We got to get together for this and let them know that the citizens are stronger than unity. Oppressors couldn't touch a million. Just like you and your boys, I'm a civilian, striving long and hard to make a living. I ain't quitting checks I'm receiving. 70 pounds was the paper washing dishes, working alongside rumors spreading bitches. It wasn't much of a price to get paid. The job was easy, but not the play for blade. So I took my things and took a bus trip back to my neighborhood where I could get the chip off my shoulder, but still the hands are on it. Get them off my back, I don't want it. Them and their slimy ways don't impress me. As for when I sneeze, they're quick to bless me, but I don't need their stinking blessing. When will they understand there's no pressing me when all I really wanna do is rough it up? Yeah, we're gonna
103.7 Kane FM.
Everything I do is like they're trying to push me over the edge, man. Every move I make, then people them trying to stop me from doing what I want to do. Is like they want me to go mad. It's like they want me to go crazy. Boy, I gotta do everything I have to hold on to my sanity. Then man, I must want me to just go over the edge, man. Here's up for ya. I feel the vibe of a crazy madman. Don't try to stop me, cause no one can, man. I'm fuming, fueling the fire. Intellect straight higher. Direction straight. As a man, I create rise, manifesting terror. You swim in darkness, you're in error. Now bring that funky beat back. Yeah, I make the beeline fat. I'm mad as hell and this ain't no act. My anger is pumping as hard as the track. Infidel, bitter for mortal, crawl back in on your shell or into your parcel. Evil vibes around me by those who's obsessed by vanity. I know that frivolity ain't our behavior. You best seek forgiveness and seek your savior. Cause while I get hype, another entity get lazy. Mell O gone crazy. Mell O gone crazy. Tremendous, get out my way, cause I'm a bloody madman. You're taking lips, so you must get blind, man. Not soothing, but moving much higher. Intellect needs fire. My motion smooth. What's the grace as I move on and forever forward? The text of treasure, the verse and chorus. Then that's what I'm looking at. Fact, you can't hold this man back. I plan ahead well before I act. I step the guns on the ground and the laugh and say whack. Infidels, they seem to come for the truth with lies. The past they will smile for. Evil vibes around me, but those who's obsessed by wickedry to end my liberty. Fruitless behavior, you best use the mind that creator gave ya. Cause when I use murder, other empty can phase me. Cause Mell O's gone crazy. Mell O's gone crazy. The need to act like a man, black man, but I have to keep a check on my movement. Keep emotions in check by intellect. Hey, yeah. Do you know where you come from? My mom. You've seen, but first from another one. The soul provider, self-existent, omnipresent, soul uplifting. The one creator with all things focused upon other deities are focused. But some were bound to sun, moon, and star, and disregard the true creator. I travel past with my feet firmly planted, I stride. Created grace, I ride. You see me, watch me, speak me, clock me, but can't play me. I got crazy.
Kane 103.7 FM.
Let the crowd be the judge. Us who win. Let the crowd be the judge. Us who win.
This is a microphone war. This is a microphone war. This is a microphone war. This is a microphone war.
This
takes good posture to follow my roster. I don't find it hard to outbox an imposter. I'm a chainmail and it lays the Van Trail slay. I engage with the rage of a sensei prey. Run you down, make a mad squeal after one round. Switch and sway, I'm a switch. Then the ends end dead, bitch. Oh shit, me up in MC distortion. Oh, take caution. Sink or swim, keeping idiots in trim. Let the battle begin. Let the battle begin. I'm all in on all out. Fall out, I'm all balls and balls as I call out. I pack a hearse for a reckon and curse on. Disperse a verse with no dress rehearsal. On my foes in the valley below. I rise from the hills to descend and overthrow the rage of two crews. Cause few choose. Up with the Zulu. Two adversaries are blast many. And rhymes fast and steady. Still trash and ready. Up to date. The state of the art. Take part, get taken apart as I make my mark. My campaign's a pain and cane as I conquer. Cause this jaw will bring warm shore and I'm on tour. Cause any blood spillage and musters are pillage. I crush down a village and bust till I'm finished. I came in peace, you got beef, now pieces are left. Defeat is threat, a puppy reef and grief is left. The brave died a slave pride by the wayside. My power towers above the flowers at your graveside. I bring pure water to hordes of mourners. On display if DJ cuts no more than corners. Lyrically battering, slaughtered like cattle in. I smash reps and take steps when I'm battling. Macabre, corrupts larger, you're catching karma, you're maga. My tracks packed in a fat saga. I cut and chop more heads than a barber. What's all the palaver? Red alert, cause this MC's berserk. To enemies, I'm a nasty piece of work. The dark craftsman, pulling a fast one. Ask them to come and I blast like a marksman. Set speed, let the next breed. Set the next lead and vex for the next lead. Eat ya, beat ya, defeat ya quickly. Harder the battle, the sweeter the victory.
Kane FM.
Cold crushing, I'm either out digging for gems or we're discussing them. With the deal, y'all, this is Oxygen representing vinyl veterans, and if I ain't out digging in the crates, I'm listening to the Pioneers of Hip Hop show with my man Whirlwind D on Kane 103.7 FM, the realness, y'all.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane 103.7 FM. If you've just joined us tonight, we are tracing the history of one of the UK scene's absolute legends. That legend is No Sleep Nigel. When we find ourselves in the early 90s, but before we get back into the story and the music, don't forget that myself and Specifik, we're going to be playing at the Lindisfarne Festival later on in the year. That's at the end of August. And of course, my man Specifik is providing support for the hip-hop king himself, Rakim, next weekend in Brighton. An absolutely essential gig. So let's get back into the music. So the first track we heard in that volley of cuts was Blade's seminal Rough It Up, which of course was mixed at Joe's Garage Studios and even had a picture of No Sleep Nigel on the back cover, which demonstrated just how important he was to Blade's sound and the hip-hop scene at the time. In fact, by this time, every self-respecting hip-hop fan knew of No Sleep Nigel, and having his name on a cover or a label in a way kind of acted as a stamp of quality. Next up, we heard the brilliant Gone Crazy by Mell O, which dropped in 1992, and it saw No Sleep Nigel on engineering duties. The 3 tracks on the EP should of course come out on Mell O's second album, but it never happened. Now, we won't go into that story now. It's quite a big story. Many of you will know that, but we will look at that in future shows. Just hope that one day that album comes out, because such an incredible record, I'm sure, judging by the strength of the 3 cuts on that Mell O Gone Crazy EP. We then moved into the sophomore release from First Down. Big up to my man Arrow and the rest of the First Down crew. That, of course, was 3 years after their incredible debut, Jaw Warfare. I can't get enough of that record. And, of course, by the time of their second record, the lineup had changed. But it shows just how significant No Sleep Nigel's reputation had become, with crews from around the country tapping into his expertise and craft. And, of course, First Down weren't a London crew, and so it just shows how everybody was fiending for a bit of No Sleep Nigel magic on their record. We then closed proceedings with another brilliant Blade track, this time featuring Mell O, very appropriate given that both Mell O and Blade were so intertwined with No Sleep Nigel, and it was taken from his epic long player, The Lion Goes From Strength to Strength. Now, that particular track was called Dark and Sinister, and I can't get enough of that. It is just so menacing, so powerful, just pure angst in every single bar. Now, not only did No Sleep Nigel mix the album, but he even offered some background vocals in places on that album. So if you listen through, you will hear No Sleep Nigel. Now, another interesting fact, not necessarily related to No Sleep, but something that Blade told me many, many years ago. I think it was when I was doing an interview with him for Undercover magazine that didn't come out, actually, because I think the magazine had shut doors by the time it was due to be published. But I remember Blade telling me that drone sound in the background of Dark and Sinister, he achieved that by switching on a set of hair clippers and putting them in a wooden box. I just love those little details. Massive big up to Blade. Okay, so keeping with the hardcore, we now move to the mighty Killer Instinct.
Waking up our children with the whistle of the pistol, taking the source out of the phone to follow instant with the screening of a horror show. Murder scene is rather seen by an almighty murder fiend is fiending. Assemble and the scene is already been seen, but I bring it swinging in, yes, and every still cuts. A plus by 6, maybe could be, but it's not the right direction. We be stretching to reach to, maybe we reach to. Those will be the simple as a sure they're already written path to destruction. Somebody through the wilderness of natural and a temperate type of section. And so I left to the horizon, I see burning red flames and moral shame is still remain. Taking a toast to turn it written on the spit, man. Children carry guns, we don't need an issue, man. To have a fight, you really only need a face, man. And this is why the number levels still increase, man. While teenage rudies carry shooters, we full to pursue us. And then we pop it off with no flick, shot,
ladies and gentlemen.
You're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
How shall I put it? You suck, I'll start you ducks and stop the crux of your argument. To make you who said you could do too. Your musical motto is what will suit who? But I warn ya, the kinetic mentality procures the cure to border insanity. The man behind this, two gold teeth and a belly flush touch in a mind state such that we have much at the mind that matters more. DJ Insane makes a track with a rapper roar, so you claw for your so-called comeback. From what? Your pop rap fun pack? It's a fact that you weren't here before that. So lyrical void, you get me annoyed, your format's whack. The Banjo Brothers are buffoon. I pruned your props that you lost it, it's rough tune. So chew on that, you know what, as soon as sat on top of the beat, cause the insane loop the track. TDK let loose to control the decks. Reach the border, so fill with kinetic effect. As I wreck, check the high, go to low notes. You promote hoax, you're still out to cut throats. Nope, not me, my head slipped the guillotine. We're not gullible, your runners are stun 'em all. And I shun 'em all, take insane as my witness. I'm slipping your disc as I hit this hard, fast, relativistic and blast past. Nastily, cause what you did was your last task. So last this, you're exactly the same as the lame brains who use rap hacks for their game planes. See the game changes, brains attain fame. You rap with your foot in your mouth in the same vein of death. No, multiplied by two still is nil niche. You're tested insane, but we're dismissed. My wrist flexed as I vexed you with dialect. You manage your lies, so I reply with my effect intact. In fact, you cut your own throat. I heard an echo, but you're rocking your own boat. Here's an anecdote, the rise and the fall of a foolish journalist. But you ain't burning this. I dismiss with a Chris then shit for cuss for a cuss, but it's you who got missed, sis. On a precipice, now the press is pissed. This to death, you aim, but I guess you missed. Caucasian competition is missing in action. Kinetic ain't part of the happy faction. Act your age, retract your page, zip your lip. Brit hypocrite, but don't let the stylist slip. From 33 to 45, coming alive. About as much as a more, cause your flaws arrive. Take a dive, it's a duck, but not enough. Your racial inadequacies have called your bluff. Rough, I read, you say, you teach, but I ain't hip to your hypocritical speech. Dumb plum, in fact, you're all manner of fruit. You make balance while I make fruit salad, squash your pip. So you take a science tip, but kinetics on a physics degree. Grips a grip hold at the mic that you're so cheap. You say sober, but your soul you reap. And I progress, the verse of the first said lyrically don't test, satirically grotesque and estimated insane invalidity by fake personalities. You get panicky, who will it get next? As I run down clowns who claim they're complex. Get kinetic, vex or retaliate. Set bait and sit and wait. I see you chewing on a stolen simile. It's embarrassing to hear your comparisons of rap, house and eviction. I heard before in a score from which you copied your diction badly. I didn't hear you in the symphony, a cello and bow, a smooth value of zero. Your flow was a no-no, cause no, you don't suspend sense sensibly. Now who you intend to be? Kinetically, GDK may be insane. You play rent a rap, a band I'm paying, a band who's playing any of the tracks that you or I do, unless we suck clean up to his crew. But you knew that when we run up another 12 or EP or LP, the two's too stealthy. So just shell the thoughts at your claws, cause the scene of the two's letting loose on the border.
You're listening to the sounds of Kane 103.7 FM. Kane FM.
9-5 flavor, bringing it to your ears. Yeah, check it out now. Check it out. Check it out now. We got MCM in his house. He's got a few words he'd like to say. Some of your MCs out there make some room for improvement. Yeah, check it out.
I'm dedicated to this 100%, even though the majors won't back me to pay the rent. I keep striving, avoiding all picks and downfalls. This year will be the final call. Show this world that I got what it takes, so I won't be put in a class of fraud and fake hip-hoppers who only know how to follow a dress code. Mention a few names who think they got the shit sold, that ain't it. Listen to the lyrics I kick, I got assorted flavors in these rhymes, so take your pick. Nothing but the best is what I'm delivering, leaving black MCs cold and shivering. If it's one thing I learned through the years, it's not to let people bring you down or treat you like a clown. To have confidence and faith in yourself is a must, but overall it's in God I put my trust. No props goes to the true heads like Ty and Big Ted for staying true to the game. The ones who knew that I'd persevere, giving encouragement to be strong and hang in there. Feel the words of this lyricist, visualize them clearly, there's not a hint of mist in sight, cause everything will be alright. When I ripped up the set, yo, I caused the fret. Skies we kick every day in many ways, setting it off, y'all, no time for delays. I'm in it to win it, so there's room for improvement. So get down with the movement. Yeah, styles we kick every day in many ways, setting it off, y'all, no time for delays. We got this game all sewn and locked, getting our props and staying true to real hip-hop. I know you like the way it's going down, representing the UK from High Wycombe Town. This occurs daily like the mail. You see that everything is real, so I will always prevail. I'm on a higher level than your average MC, cause I have a degree in RAP, sociology. You were ballin' for the freestyle lyrics, so here I give it, without the mimics or the gimmicks. Like I said before, my raps are factual, real actual events have taken place. So I'm not trying to take up space or even be a part of crews trying to get up in this rap race. I'm on some different shit, searching for breaks or car boot sales. I'm even digging in the crates or checking the creators to see what they got up in the rap selections. Winners of the elections for the funk, getting nothing but the best to Dave and Axelrod, Cal Jaders and the issue. As I was going so deep, and this ain't the time where I lay me down to sleep. Cause right here, we also got the blunts in rotation. The SB waiting patiently at the station. Can't forget we got the N Sonic putting the samples through. So what we gonna do? Get the best snares, the best loops we can find, and some hi-hats to close the elevation for the mind. Coming back again, MCM with the creators. Check it out. Styles we kick every day in many ways, setting it off, y'all, no time for delays. I'm in it to win it, so there's room for improvement. So get down with the movement. Yeah, styles we kick every day in many ways, setting it off, y'all, no time for delays. We got this game all sewn and locked, getting our props, staying true to real hip-hop. Where I do it's insane, getting love from moms and pops the moment I came. Showing support, but worrying is just the one and only ambition that I'm gonna pursue. It ain't like what it used to be. I'm given a chance to advance the generation of youth, you see. That's what I represent. Not forgetting that I'm 22 years old, trying to break the mold instilled in my mind. In this here rhyme to bring about a change in some year or some time. Lyrically so believing part-time MCs astounded. I got your whole premises surrounded, there's no escape. Through doors and exits, get another dose and hit them off with the niche. So don't try to get with the super rhyme imperial, who we constantly setting it off with classical material. Styles we pick every day in many ways, setting it off, y'all, no time for delays. I'm in it to win it, so there's room for improvement.
Internationally known to Romeo Zone, this is Music G repping the Underground Army. You're now tuned in to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show with Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Nobody can do it better.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane 103.7 FM. Don't forget, at the tail end of the show, we've got some brand new music from the likes of my man Specifik, his incredible album, and a track featuring Chrome. That LP has almost sold out. A cheeky one from myself and Smoove, and of course the brilliant new 7-inch single by my man Tough Cut featuring Percy P. Just proving that on the Pioneers Hip Hop Show we love hip hop from all eras of the history. Now, by 1993, despite the dip in the popularity of UK hip-hop after the heights it had reached at the beginning of the 90s, No Sleep Nigel was still very much a key part of the sound. Now, I'll just qualify what I said because I'm not talking about the quality. The quality of the music was as dope as ever. But as we know, there was an exodus due to the rave scene, gangster rap and so much more. And we'll cover that on a future show. So let's get back into the music. Killer Instinct was the first cut we heard. Now, after Killer Instinct left Music of Life and moved to Lucas G's label in 1993, they enlisted the skills of No Sleep Nigel to mix their classic third EP, Whispers of Hatred, which of course was another underground classic following closely in the footsteps of Bambi Murders and Ununited Kingdom. Now, before we move into the next few cuts, I just want to focus on the technical side for a moment because we are talking about an engineering mixing legend. Now, in his interview for Big Daddy magazine, No Sleep Nigel cited that his favourite bits of kit in the studio were as follows: the Akasit Strong Reverb, the TL Audio C1 compressor, which he felt at the time was the best piece of kit that money could buy, the Studer A810 1/4-inch tape machine. Now, interestingly, I remember using one of these back in my first studio session in and around 1990, I think, at Norberton Studios with Johnny F, going way back there, original break days. He also cited the TC Electronics Finalizer and the Soundcraft Ghost mixing desk, which at the time No Sleep argued was the best sound for the price. So let's get back into the music. The next cut we heard was the incredible Bordering Insanity by Kinetic Effect. In fact, this would be the last hip-hop track to be mixed at Cold Storage, with the B-side Beyond the Parameters mixed at Joe's Garage, marking this significant change. We then moved into the Mighty Gunshot and a remix by No Sleep Nigel of their track Colour Code, which came out on Vinyl Solution in 1994. And for our final track, we jumped to 96 with the track actually recorded in 95, featuring MCM and mixed by No Sleep Nigel. The track was Room for Improvement by the Creators. Now, in fact, around this time, No Sleep had been working on MCM's debut solo album, which sadly would never see the light of day. I know some tracks have been released since, and hopefully we'll hear that in its full glory one day. So we move now from one hip-hop legend to another, or others I should say. Hijack, at least part of the crew, now branded as Mr Pink and Mr Blonde.
Yeah, let me get a sip of that Hennessy. Alright, nice.
Ready on the right.
Back in the days, I was the roughest of the rugged raw hardcore. I used the dialogue of grammar in the jam. I was the first to represent Bricks the faithfully. Was I undercover, supreme up in the clan. Causing trouble on the microphone. Now leave that mic alone, or Ulysses will send that body home. Believe me, when I unloaded, the track exploded. Was no one left my ticket voted, so I got promoted. You know how it is, brothers want respect. Record companies, they only want to check. Shelved my album for a couple of seasons, for no good reason. Other nigga in the wind. Now thinking of my career, I had to rebuild the structure that couldn't be, would never be corrupted. All I had was my and my word. I still have my nerve and there's heart in my words I say. Yeah, falling fools out here that be ripping up my style. You know the real. I close my eyes, the world just passes me by. You ask me no questions, I tell you no lies. I hooked up with Ice when no maybe you talk. My relationship with wannabe had left me feeling sore. How could I be so blind? I guess I live with loyalty. I never heard a word that got a royalty. Heard my record on the next man's track. For those that know the track was I had to serve you by hijack. It was about that time Supreme got dropped from the team, and I couldn't believe me and Vince making all the cream. My attitude was like, I'll make it as a soloist. Don't these vocalists, now I got to cope with this. Pen to paper when I make no mistake. When I shake, produce a track, I never have to wait. People all over the world send me letters of support and show me love. I'm showing them love back, I'm hijacked. Back once again. Coming back with the real. Blaze and chill out. You know what I'm saying? For all the people that know. On the down low. So many rappers talk us villains, claiming killing after killing when they blaze the chillin'. But when your badness stops, the next bad man's badness starts in parts where you don't know the aftermath. See, and I said niggas rob for jewels, stuck up with tools, treated like fools. That's why they come with their entourage of bodyguards, hired limousines, lean up on the lean green. But life ain't always what it seems. Sharp these bastards hustle over scams and schemes, playing gangster in the video, and getting hyped up for killing up in the studio. But can't do the crime, never serve the time. Still wanna pose as a killer in the rap, but can't back it up when push comes to shove. When niggas have got a tool and telling you shut the f*** up.
Hey boy, you're not hitting it.
Is bound to take us higher. The innovator, the lyricist many admire. Vocal messiah, Mark B's beats for hire. My time's dedicated and very hard to acquire. You feel it, the media might try to conceal it or try to stop it, making it difficult to shop it. You know it, and finally none can stop the poet. Better widen your vision, what you see is microscopic. You thought you had it, you couldn't see you was an addict, son. Needing a fix quick when things get dramatic. Come and get it, when I'm done you won't forget it. You're living in a fantasy and acting all pathetic as though the world's yours when your mind isn't. Your conventional blind state's a mind prison. I escape the trap set, elevate with time, break the barriers and persist to climb. How can I put it? You had your turn but you blew it. The beats were kinda lazy and the rhymes weren't fluent. My mind flowing like fluid, slow flowing on the surface. Undercurrents are dangerous, it's just the way I do it. I knew it, you couldn't deliver like you could talk it. London's the city but you act like it's New York, kid. And it's the same all over but now it's over. Babbling that nonsense whether you're drunk or sober. Think about it, you couldn't handle it, you rabbit. It's automatic, handing a mic to an addict is kinda like handing a loaded weapon to a murderer. Trigger happy, homicidal, MC, etc. Get it? It ain't no use trying to be smart when it's plain to see you never respected the art. You never had it, that's why you're strained to be dramatic. Force fanatic, now it's hard to break the habit you caught. You cannot escape the traps they set, you know the rest.
Higher than the rest, plus consider fresh. Come on, do something, you bad.
Rappers reciting rhymes in vain and sound plain, losing their texture for the fame. To avoid tension, no names mentioned. You're about to enter a higher level dimension. Life goes in cycles, you can fight for titles. My main concern, serious lyrical recitals. You're about to witness a new era beginning. Endlessly, forever, my records are spinning. Deep into the 21st century, causing injury to those who evolve, but never mentally. Who needs the drama? The world rotates at 33 revolutions per minute and is captured on tape. Never to escape, for many it's way too late. Hip-hop is in a hell of a state, make way for Blade, the artist, ready to spark this. I will be the light shining bright in the darkness. I exist, persist to lead the way. You follow the tracks we lay, you could be the prey. It's all about a display, verbal executions developed on the streets of London, the solution. DJ Thing, Mark B, the producer, No Sleep Nigel, the engineer, and Blade, the rhymer.
Watch the words you use. Don't try to show off how smart you are.
More than meets the eye.
Yo, Brothers McBain, new mic order containers. You understand? Founded 1995, Berry Crew, Mod Fam, Task Force, forever.
Air Force hand glider, lightning bungee jump, thunderstorm messiah, hailstone toboggan run, rainfall mountaineer, blizzard downhill skier, monsoon mountain biker, typhoon snowboarder. We do it all this year, a new chapter's born. The brothers McBain are the riders of the storm.
You see these McBain brothers, they'll throw you off a stage for staging theatrics. We'll pull your card by name. Why do you think we're called the McBain?
Just the name.
The scene will never be the same again.
Don't make your brain
This
say.
boogie loo's good to you, but sometimes it's good to feud. And if your head's bigger than your skills,
sometimes it's good to lose.
McBain's ain't the guys to choose.
It's a battle for publicity.
Tell your noise to take an interlude from now until infinity. We love you all spiritually as people.
Just live it.
But we hate you as MCs. That's why we're fun killing those who's unwilling. To master their positions, you'll face the McBains and we'll change your conditions. Make sure you see the light. If not, you'll see the end. So keep up with the times, cause it waits for no men. And if time overlaps you, these brothers will trap you. Cause we stay swinging like a cowboy's lasso. You've heard me say the name. From deep waters coming at you to bless you with the new mic order.
Red rum composer, Starlight Symphony, battling my enemies, a 25th century rhyme flow. Soldier task force are turning red like Soho.
So enter to my territory.
The terror breeze bring about a ram, smash a rap king.
It's the slipstream.
Spun round by my whirlwind.
It's the brothers McBain.
Slay guys like Slain, poetical poison, true trains through your vein. I bring immediate torture.
Skid marks on your chest beat.
Force the resistance, pull your tongue out your cheek.
And fill your body with fear.
So who's the best this year? Task Force, Mad Fam, Berry Crew.
You're here.
Eno Red Rum, McBain Mania, failure fix up. Pick up your slip-ups.
Hip hop this flinger.
Dragon stout drinker, terrorizing mics and R&B singers. Menacing music, mask attacked on your act. Collapse your whole detail with an angersome track. My lyric stays with you,
it's leaving a stain.
Bare face, no shame, it's the brothers McBain.
My slicing vocals, you can't test, make your face feel wet. Put my name on the trust, I'm a stainless steel edge. Stanley knife slice weight, top 10 tongue flex. Breakneck rap speed, the verbal stampeder. Hexagon head shape, now can you catch my angle? Unicycle turbo, I ride with no handles. A chariot of fire burning through rhyme arenas. Remus Wolfganger, Task Force hyenas. Lockjaw, lion tamer, sentence rearranger. Left you in the fourth bar, feeling like a stranger. My fourth field harvest, skyscrapes above novice. Intercepting airlines, crash landed in the forest. Power tour, hammerhead, smithereene finale. This is the resistance task, FORCE. Rapper bipping, robot tossing, legalize the crushing. Flow pressing pages, engaged in my war games. Crazy crane deliveries, master sunshiner. Shimmer through your forecast in the form of a rhymer. Stay true fanatics at it hard when I displays. Bare face, no shame, it's the brothers McBain. It's the Air Force hand glider, lightning bungee jumps. Thunderstorm messiah, hailstone toboggan runs. Rainfall mountaineer, blizzard downhill skier. Monsoon mountain biker, typhoon snowboarder.
Kane FM 103.7. This is your #1 radio station. Tune in and rip the knob off.
the beat, rock 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 the beat.
We got ya, and we rock ya. So we got ya. Calling Lima Alpha Brava, calling PC cover. I spit like molten lava cause I'm bringing the palaver, brother. I hear you talking but you ain't saying nada. Other MCs don't test, don't bother, mother. It's all you say, now we got you running like tight, I'm awkward. But the vibe is stunning, spit text to leave you deaf. Now your head's all done it, it's not my fault, mother. Why your girlfriend's coming up from these cunning linguistics. Never simplistic, I'm cryptic and twisted. And often mystic, drop salvos. On your musical turret, I lost the battle of the bulge. So I'm spreading to Norwich, I was a POW in a prison called marriage, but I escaped so you can rate the state to my damage, mother. So we got ya, and we rock ya.
The beat, rock 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 the beat.
To keep my soul responding, inspire me to rhyme, collaborate and check the design. Sit upon the rhythm, syllables stay tight. In a side's pride might wanna right the wrongs tonight. Because you notice that we're flexible, that takes ability, expands, explores, exceeds to extend and break the boundaries. So what I so feel staying true is beyond me, we must peak. Together let's rock the beat.
And so we open up, and we look sky high, and we're hoping that we can then intensify. So then we're looking into every avenue through, hoping that the hard work is grabbing you through the brink, sink and no return. It's my destiny and I swim my own stern. You wanna take me out, you can all crash and burn, cause I tie up my own shoes, always on my own terms.
This ain't my first time or last time of being on earth. Hold it down, cause I don't relish coming back as a smurf. Rude boy. You wanna kill me over someone's turf? I doubt that. You really need to see what my life's worth. Plus yours or your missus or your hubby. Cause what this is a note to my baby and my bubby. Hugs and kisses. I am not finished yet. We crush with no regrets. Any family fret. Death text, same state of mind. Regional prophet. Flying high in a spaceship. Leaving you traffic. Always rely on us when you need a new classic. We'll leave you breathless. Just like I'm a heaving asthmatic.
We rock the beat, and the beat rocks us with the subtlety and control you just can't touch. Hear all them issue and say it's too much, all that blah 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 and so forth and such. We rock the beat, and the beat rocks us with the subtlety and control you just can't touch. Hear all them issue and say it's too much, all that blah 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 and so forth and such.
Touring up the streets like Starsky and Hutch, skipping on the beat, doing the double dutch. Your beef with us is just a feeble crutch. Foot on the gas while the others pushing the clutch. So we rock the beat, 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 rock the beat.
Peace. This is legendary MC Silver Fox of Fantasy 3. I'm listening to Whirlwind D. Let's get it.
Kane 103.7 FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show in full effect. If you've just joined us tonight, we are running down through the history of legendary mixer, producer, engineer, instrumentalist, and so much more, the brilliant No Sleep Nigel. So far, we've traced his journey from the late 80s, shaping UK hip hop sound through his work with luminaries such as Blade, MC Mell O, London Posse, and Mr Dexter, through to the 90s when the hardcore sound was born via groups like Hardnoise and Killer Instinct, and we find ourselves at the beginning of another UK golden era in the late 90s, early O's. So first up, we heard the sound of Mr Pink and Mr Blonde, aka Comanche Sly and DJ Undercover. We then moved into 2 tracks by the late great Mark B. The first with Blade, which would mark the beginning of Blade's march towards mainstream success with tracks like The Unknown and You Don't See the Signs. The track we played was Lead the Way, which would once again see Blade working in partnership with No Sleep Nigel, and I kept that one going right to the end because of course Blade name checks No Sleep Nigel as well. After this, we moved to the brilliant debut album by Task Force alongside Mark B with a track called Brothers McBain. No Sleep Nigel would mix this alongside Mark B. And our final track was from Norwich's finest, the mighty Deftex, and a track featuring the late great Ty and Huckleberry Finn, which would see No Sleep Nigel on the engineering tip. It's incredible really to think that No Sleep was a key influence in the late 80s sound, and over 10 years later, as UK hip-hop hit another golden age, he was still at the forefront. Interestingly, of course, Blade, who would work very closely with No Sleep throughout his career, would make the same successful moves over time. Speaking of which, we now find ourselves in the current era of hip-hop, and No Sleep Nigel is still, alongside heads like Roller, the go-to engineer mixer. Up next, 4 tracks from the current era with No Sleep's influence. First up, Soundsize Keep On, which saw him play bass.
1, 2 for you and you and you. Everybody, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 for you and you and you. To the motivators and movers, moving with motivation to the go-getters. Moving, no hesitation. 365, you striving for the better. In turbulent times in 09, the last letter on your own. Lyrical rap renegade, the bottom line. To create something real and so refined. Yeah, dropping a jewel for the mindless. Like the rising sun being the light for the blinded by the lust of what makes or breaks a human being. Material possessions make no sights unseen. Falsify the face that does not come clean. Snake eyes and the lies provided on TV screens. Yeah, it gets hectic, there it goes, life flows so fragile you might wreck it, so you gotta collect, reflect, and keep it moving through tough times. It's all about showing proving who you are, superstar, let them know who you are, never settle for less than the best, so yes, y'all, stand clear, persevere, stay strong, never fear, hold your head to the sky, and keep on. You know you can't give up, you know you don't give up, you know you won't give up, I don't stop, yo, like when the sun comes up, you be rising, yeah. Lyrically, I respond. My words to come together, yes, from dusk till dawn. A soldier and I'm fighting in these times in Babylon. Ever on the quest and test, the master of self, yo. The times and rhymes outside, and nothing else, yo. The isolation, concentration, frustration, born toward the devastation. The bomb it drops, crooked cops, the plots, the scams, the hustles, yeah. Cause life can be a struggle with the strong survive for the dollar bill. By any and all means, a view to a kill still. I press through the times, document it, formulate it, put it in a rhyme. Proceed to elevate and cultivate a mind for the youth, young troops, no heights you can't climb now. You know you can't give up, you know you don't give up, you know you won't give up. I don't stop, yo, like when the sun comes up, you be rising and rising.
103.7 Kane FM.
So I'm up the beat and I want the whole world to listen. So I'm up the beat and I want the whole world to listen. So I'm up the beat and I want the whole world to listen. So I'm up the beat and I want the whole world to listen. So up the beat and I want the whole world to listen. So I'm up the beat and I want the whole world to listen. So I'm up the beat and I want the whole
That's what I'm talking to you about. People from the old school still delivering the clout. Nasal hair sprouting, old men pouting, variety club outing, hearing's gone shouting. Listen to the story of an aging B-boy. It's above a planet rock, now I'm ready to destroy. Slippers in effect, I'm a blanket for circulation. Watching News Night, then it's over the coronation. Sitting in my chair, grumbling at the screen.
The youth of today don't know where I have been.
So I'm ready for a battle, adjust my hearing aid. Armed with a stick and my grey flat top fade. Take my teeth from the glass, fit them in my mouth. Tarnished grill showing there's a stumble all about. Gargle with some olive oil, taking all my pills. Old man rap, that's how I get ill. Shuffle down the pavement with my bus pass in my hand. Step up on the bus, give a look to the man.
Young man, you don't know nothing. Show me some respect.
Get dissed by a passion, I feel the weight of my technique. As I speak upon mature matters of the mind, like how I should ensure. Premiums going up and my bones are getting stiffer. Body pops locking, reminiscing when I was fitter. So I rely on my rhymes when I can catch my breath. Lung butters in my mouth as I stumble up each step. Competition's just a fiction for an oldie with addiction. My conviction is my mission, so you better sit and listen to an oldie in a slip and hearing aid at my disposal. Walking frames fitted with a mic that's there to roast you. In the words of Mobb Deep, you've been shook so you were still. Old man rap, that's how I get ill.
Kane 103.7 FM.
Stiletto with G-rap on it. My components are ditonus. I mash out my opponents. North Babylonian high-grade plutonium. Radioactive rhyme, rip at the podium. Rapid fire, the rap messiah. Represent retro rap and b-boy attire. From the Empire State to L.I.A. Get fly, we blap out your back tire. 36 North SSP on exit 50 off the LIE. You done know? They shit just having fun, no. Had 2 verses, now it's down to 1, no. Melted down like gold fronts. Hit a head crack, only had the roll once, roll blunts. In the days when I used to blaze, nowadays crime pays is the new phrase. J-U-S-T divine is the god that had A&Rs bugging out on my dad. Never signed with them, hype rhymes I spit them. Make what takes others a lifetime to get them. I'm at that ish, invent classics, immaculate from Manhattan to Mastic. The master, mind's in effect, here to catch wreck, so here's a mic check. The 1-2 punch of the intellect. Please address me, Mr. Everett. Now forgive me, cause I bombed your set.
149 149 149 149
Kane FM.
You want that? I will kill you. Don't hurt me.
young gunner, I would hunger for more. Never been the type to perpetrate a fraud. Off these haters trying to rob the coattail. Only wanna see the boat float but not sail. Them man are trash, irrelevant to supreme. Rock audio crack on the track for the beans. Nitrosamines and molecular structure. I put the adrenaline until veins rupture. All of our rivals' bodies are left slain. I forgive enemies, never forget names. I take them out of the frame, dig them a shallow grave. Fire wizard with the words I burn with the flame top gunning. R.I.P. the second coming, similar to a god. Men start running, humming, coming at ya. Time for some action. They know it's war whenever they hit the clacks. And the immortal rock sounds off shotgun. These are public enemy number one. Bull cat, I chase rap straight from the yard. While the fork tongue snake slivers in the grass. Hard bars, my verse is a testament. Enough man they can park cause of my excellence. Astronomical seas, brother please I get it in. Make the pen bleed when I feed off adrenaline.
Seek the enemy, locate the enemy, track down the enemy, break down the enemy. Seek the enemy, locate the enemy, track down the enemy, break down the enemy. Done. Like this. Like that.
War machine, ride until I die. Lyrical kamikaze, ready for suicide. Rock light up your block like the guns in Never Road. Run through your borough, tear it up like a cyclone. Mercenary from hell, hunt down my enemies, serving them well. Gatling gun, my tongue red shells. I'm bad to the bone when they start breaking me down. Chromosome to brain cells, cyborg, cerebellum whenever I rhyme. Back to terminate, still ahead of my time. I lacerate my victims, annihilate mankind. One of a kind from Cyberdyne systems. All over the tracks, bouldering MCs. Cock back the hammer like four, then squeeze venomous rolls. That of a reptilian anaconda chokehold foes, I'm killing them. I administer adrenaline raw and start backpedaling. They don't want it no more. My platoon full of goons and bad news. 21 gun salute, murdering crews. We levitate, get them off of their damn toes. My slang bang like clever lang, uppercuts and blows. The set that I rep, stay straight menacing. All black everything, down to the melanin adrenaline.
Seek the enemy, locate the enemy, track down the enemy, break.
See for forever, yeah. Right now, I'm out of England, fresh out of Ghana, listening to the Pioneers of Hip Hop show on the Kane FM with a man like Whirlwind D and a man like DJ Miracle Skane.
Kane FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show, 103.7 FM, and tonight has all been about the legendary No Sleep Nigel. In a moment we're going to get to the brand new music, but let's just round things off. And we rounded things off with some very recent tracks which go to show that No Sleep Nigel is every bit as relevant in today's hip hop market as he was in the past, and in fact his mark is sought after. In fact, the second track we played was actually from my first album, and as someone who has always greatly respected No Sleep Nigel, it was a real buzz to have him mix a couple of tracks on the No Man's Land long player. Big shout out to my man Beatrix, who was on production and hooked that up. So we've got 4 tracks that we played there. One of them, the second one, like I say, was Whirlwind D, How I Get Ill, produced by my man Beatrix. We hyped the set with the sounds of Soundsight and Keep On World Expo from 2012. And as I say, No Sleep Nigel played bass on that record. We also had the sounds of Oxygen and 149 on the same label, World Expo from 2016. Lovely cut, that big up to my man Oxygen. Also mixed and engineered by No Sleep Nigel. And the final track we played really takes us almost to the present day from 2021. That mighty return from Son of Noise, Adrenaline, with a splash of No Sleep Nigel, of course. Absolute killer cut. So we find ourselves at the end of our No Sleep Nigel tale, and as I said at the top of the show, we've been focusing very much on the hip hop, but No Sleep Nigel has been involved with music beyond the parameters of hip hop, lots of genres, and of course beyond the time parameters that we've looked at this evening. We started proceedings in and around 87, 88, but of course his legacy goes back further than that, and will no doubt continue into the future. There aren't many pioneers who continue to be every bit as relevant today as they were in the beginning, at least No Sleep's Nigel's beginning with hip hop, which is amazing as a feat in my opinion. Nearly 35 years shaping and influencing hip hop from these shores, as well as his many other ventures. A true hip hop legend. So it's that point in the show now where we play some brand new music before we sign off for another month. Remember, you can hear the Pioneers show on Kane FM every 4 weeks, 9 to 11 on a Monday evening. Check out the Kane FM roster schedule, which is up on kanefm.com to see exactly when we're playing. Got to shout out my Boot Record crew, of course, every 2 weeks. Boot Record show 9 to 11 on a Wednesday. Big ups to Jazz T and Miracle. So I'm going to leave you with 3 brand new tracks. First up is a cheeky one. It's my current single featuring my man Smoove. Do It Now on AE Productions. Big up Mr. Fantastic. We're then going to slip into a track from Specifik's incredible album that has virtually sold out. In fact, by the time this show goes out, it may have sold out. If you haven't got one, head over to his Bandcamp or one of the shops that are stocking it very quickly. The track that we're playing is Crumbling Bricks, featuring my man Chrome. And the final track you're going to hear is the latest 7-inch from Tough Cut. Big up to you, the whole Beats in Progress crew. And he's got a 7-inch featuring Uptown and Percy P, 2 hip-hop legends. And we're going to play the track featuring Percy P, which is called Beasting. So I'll leave you with these 3 tracks. Keep your eye on social media. We'll let you know what the next focus for the Pioneers Hip Hop Show is. A big shout out to everybody listening live on Kane FM. Also to those listening on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel at a later date. We really appreciate those comments, those likes and so on and so forth. So until next time, I'll leave you with my latest single featuring Smoove. It's Do It Now.
Exact your plans, interact with all the facts. Attack the plaques with an axe on the tax. Get on top of the facts so you can dodge all the traps. Do it now or never strive forever, cause it's time to sever all the doubts and fears and worries from the jaws of the tether. Throw back your troubles, emerge from the rubble. Beat back the monster, rise from the struggle. Double a bubble of trouble, now is your time. Gotta do what you do when it's your time to rhyme. You see I'm on mine, are you on yours? A pause, cause the cause is a source that you gotta go force a course. It's not all gravy and lifetime ease. Some battles are tragic, words of Dell, rest in peace. But you gotta take the sample and do your thing, cause procrastination will only just fling your dreams and your worries to the back of the queue. Caught in a mindscape of black and grey hues. Too true, too few fixed views. Old news, cue views from the keyboard peeps who still use fear as a method and a way to cause rouse. Hustle and struggle in the moment that is now. So pick up your pen, try again no matter how. Unbreak the shackle, it's time to do it now. A path to success is often created with traps for some. It's much harder cause of the hand that they're dealt. Gotta check my own privilege before I go sell a couple of juggles for the struggle that I tell. Cause my story of glory is my unbreakable shell. I wake in the morning with a dawning of dread. Just wanna lie in the light and stay curled up in bed. Phone ringing, text pinging, mind singing a sad song. Lay lying, shying away from what's tying me so strong. Gotta pull myself up, erupt from a slumber. Engage my muscles for the hustle that lies yonder. Gotta do it now or never. Sever my own lever. Whatever's holding me back is now my endeavor. Rise from this place and erase a bad case. Set a pace to embrace, cause it's time to lay waste to my fears and the spears that threaten my mind's towel. Gotta step up my friend, cause it's time to do it now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
Every part of the United Kingdom is now in lockdown, with people being urged to stay at home as the scale of the public health emergency becomes even more daunting. Such is the depth of the COVID crisis that the lockdown measures are widely expected to remain in force probably until March.
You must stay at home.
The impact of the pandemic continues to affect jobs. The latest figures show that the UK unemployment rate has risen to its highest level.
That is why people will only be allowed to leave their home for the following very limited purposes.
Isolation made her existing so bad. A few weeks ago, she planned to kill herself.
Now more than 1 in 3 are reporting anxiety and depression symptoms.
The impact of the pandemic, the impact of the pandemic.
You must stay at home.
Empty streets and space that you kill for. Half-ripped adverts on old rotten billboards. Out the corner of your eye, the cameras keep moving, changing the focus and constantly zooming. Looking for the next man to use as a scapegoat. He's bringing out a deadlock, send him a hate note. On social media, feed the anxiety. No care for the individual in this society. Brutal, thoughtless, careless, reckless, heartless, mindlessness. Crooks look to snatch his necklace. It's only sentimental value. You can have better in this life is what they sell you. Work from home, stay away from your mates. Don't increase the stakes or the number of the death rates. On the move with a target on your forehead. Obey the system or believe that you're dead. Crumbling bricks constantly falling around me. Rumbling kicks taking me to where the sounds be. Take a second to take a breath and look around you. Make a difference with the voice and what the sounds do. Crumbling bricks constantly falling around me. Rumbling kicks taking me to where the sounds be. Take a second to take a breath and look around you. Make a difference with the voice and what the sounds do. When planets align, these things make sense. But when people are tense, all hell breaks loose. A noose tied around a neck to strangle the life out of existence. Feet twitching, hanging on until the lights out. Right now it's all critical, sitting in the waiting room, queuing for the ICU. Death, I see you, but I won't be you. I will hang on while the light shines. I'll tell you, I will stand strong. It's the fight that we possess in our human nature. But the politicians are crooks, they're all sorry, not sorry. Back off with the whole world, no Johnny. Trying to be your best mate, then take your money, leave you out of pocket whilst they transfer the funds. It's all about looking out for number one and sitting on top of the world. Whether you're not to be taking the dreams, your grip's not strong enough. Trying to box with your God, but your arms are not long enough. Crumbling bricks constantly falling around me. Rumbling kicks taking me to where the sounds be. Take a second to take a breath and look around you. Make a difference with the voice and what the sounds do. Crumbling bricks constantly falling around me. Rumbling kicks taking me to where the sounds be. Take a second to take a breath and look around you. Make a difference with the voice and what the sounds do. I don't know what
KFM.
Hi, this is James Brown. When I'm in the city, I listen to
Percy P.
Percy P.
Become a master. Become a master.
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 Check. Mic check. Harass hated, I'm trash dated, yeah, emo blast dated. But all on my job, like when the castrated, cause my ass made it. Make a brother clap, like all the mothers at church had enough of acts. Wax bitten to all the rougher tracks. One hit, bunch getting hunts, hitting stun quick. Dumb chicks, tongue stick out, cause I run strips. Ass sore, cause I smash core in the trash all of your heart broken like a glass jaw. Fast forward, don't admire hot chicks with a fire crotch, lie a lot. You buy shots, giving every guy to say hi slot. BX, and if it look a P-flex, and eat you like a T-Rex. When I take you out like a C-section. Percy P. Ritz, and he clips cats when he spit. He deep hit, you pay a few quick, no free skit, G. Duper fly without a suit and tie, dog, for telling people lies. If you in the group of guys you deny. Cruise trash with who's ass. Newsflash, if you last, will be a lift if you smash. Hate when bands boast about how much the damn gross. Play this man close, but Instagram post before they can't ghost. Suck play, better upgrade to fuck before a buck's made. A cut aid and show a duck shade. Clown my brand, I'm down the fans. Down the man when I found some man, send me for around the grand. Snuff nuts for your buck struck. A hip or uppercut stuck from Percy P. or Mr. Tough Cut. Check. Percy P.
Become a master. Become a master.
Percy P.
Become a master.
Check. Check.